Sure, let's do it.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. I'm Leonardo. I will be the host here, and I'm responsible for international partnerships here at Sky.One. And welcome to Gen AI and Cloud Data-Driven Decision Making and Responsible Innovation in LATAM and MENA. For those who doesn't know which MENA means, it means Middle East and North Africa. Before we start here, I'll set a short context from cloud to Gen AI and the foundations for responsible innovation. Before we dive in, I'd like to pass here to our speakers to briefly introduce themselves in their words. So, Christian, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, good morning, good evening, everybody. I'm Cristian Vivanco from Sky.One. I'm a data and AI solutions architect right now based in Chile. Sky.One has many people around the world. I'm based in Chile, so we have a different of time probably here, right here in the morning. I've been in the industry for quite a while, mostly on the side of the client, and from a couple of years now, on the side of as a vendor, as a provider, and as a recommender of technology for users. So very glad to be here and to share with you some quite good insights and information about this great team here.
Nice. And now we have our speaker, who is from live from Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. Raza, can you introduce yourself?
Sure, thank you, Leonardo, with pleasure. Well, good afternoon to everyone from Riyadh. It's 3 p.m., so we are literally sitting in a global village right now, connecting from different parts of the globe. Very honored to be here and to be part of this discussion. Myself, I'm a strategy consultant and a trainer. I've worked across multiple industries across the region. So when I say that, I primarily mean Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Dubai. And of course, as I have worked across multiple industries, reporting to the C-level or the strategic level, that has given me a good insight into what are the pains and challenges faced by the top leadership across many different businesses. So in my humble capacity, I will be bringing a lot of pain points from what is the C-level experiencing in the Middle East. What are the key strategic decisions they are planning to make in the context of Gen AI and cloud? Also, how is the digital transformation wave going on in the region? How is it affecting every business, every company, as well as the government sector, which is the biggest stakeholder for digital transformation in this region? Yes, I expect to learn a lot from all of you, including my colleagues from Chile and Brazil as well.
Nice. With the introductions complete here, we're gonna set a context here, so we have some slides of context of what is the paradox of Gen AI, how is Gen AI doing in our regions, and after that we're gonna open for discussion between Raza and Christian, and after that, after their discussion, we're gonna open for questions of the audience. Okay. So the first slide here, it's about Sky.One. So we have years of cloud projects that we established here in Brazil and Latin America and also in Europe and all over the countries. You're gonna see it here, and this is the baseline that supports us toward apply AI with governance and scale now. So here are Sky.One numbers. We have more than 25,000 clients, active clients, more than 500 employees, more than 400 partners all around the world, and more than 500 ERPs in our platform also. We have presence in more than 35 countries, and we are certified professionals by ISO 27001. Our technical support also is 24/7, and nowadays it attends in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. So here we have a practical sequencing. So systems on the cloud, trusted and accessible data, and then AI project. That's why how we imagine here the journey of the data. Okay. So all of these wrapped by a transversal cybersecurity layer that we have also to reduce friction and accelerate time to value. Here we have our server location map. So we work with hyperscalers here in Sky.One. We don't have our data centers, our own data centers. So here is some of the data centers that we work today. In the MENA region, Dubai, Jeddah, we have also in Israel and other places all around the world. Here are the countries that we have partners or customers. You can see that we already have partners in Emirates and in Saudi Arabia, India, and we have also presence in the African continent, in Europe, and also in Asia. And here is how it starts. So the foundational shift. Here we have the total global investment in GAI in 2025, which will be around $14.2 billion, and an expansion and accelerated growth of about 150% year to year. Okay, and what we say here is that generative AI is not an upgrade; it's a foundational shift. Innovation is leaving the lab and moving to the core of the business. And this will be one of the things that we're gonna discuss here with Cristian and Raza. And here we have the handbrakes. What bring us to the place that we are here, and what are the adoption brakes? The main brakes remain the same. The legacy systems based on on-premise servers, fragmented data, scarce talent, so we don't have abundance of professionals in AI, cultural resistance, which we will discuss also here, and what we see is that we don't see companies that have budget for AI projects this year. Okay. And here is the paradox. So we have an enormous ambition here in Latin America. We're gonna have an increase in budget of about 26%, but 70% of the companies in LATAM and Middle East and North Africa are still in the early exploratory stages of AI. So they didn't know what they can do with AI. They didn't know how to do it. Okay. And now it's the turn of our speakers. So Raza and Cristian, you have 5 minutes for each question to elaborate your answer, okay? And this is the first one. Over the next 12 months, where are the biggest opportunities for AI plus cloud in our region? Raza, can we start, please?
Sure. So you said 5 minutes for both of us, right?
No, you can spend 5 minutes. That's right.
Yeah, so I was going to leave 30 seconds for Cristian. Anyhow, and that is because there is so much happening in MENA region in this regard that we can really spend hours discussing on how many initiatives that are happening. But we'll try to summarize it. So, I mean, I will not say Middle East is late to the party, but they are catching up very fast. So a lot of European countries and Brazil, for example, is very advanced in fintech and a lot of digital initiatives. Middle East is catching up very fast, as I said, because they have the right budgets and intentions to make that happen. And a lot of times, this is primarily being driven out of the country's national strategy. So each of these Middle Eastern countries, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, have national strategies. For example, in Saudi Arabia, it's called Vision 2030. which is primarily the driving force behind so many initiatives, including the digital transformation. So, especially in the last 4 or 5 years, post-COVID, I would say, things have accelerated a lot. And in 2023-24, almost 16%, 16% of the national GDP was coming out of the digital economy. So you can already see it's a sizable chunk. Also, for the next 12 months, if you look at where are the opportunities lying, then of course it's affecting every sector, every sort of company. But I would say three main industries are the driving force. First of all, the public sector. Obviously, as I said, it's driven by the government in these countries. So ministries and anything which is to do with the national agenda or indirectly relating with the ministries of public sector will be behind it. The second is the financial services. So the banking institutes, your telcos, your fintechs, they are also constituting a big part of that. And the third is the health sector, because the government is pushing into that a lot. Of course, they're looking into the agri-tech and ed tech, the education technology as well. But the health tech is a big component of it. And just to give you a little bit of background, in the public sector, they established an authority called DGA, Digital Government Authority. And their plan is to have 80% cloud services adoption for the country in next 5 years, which is a very ambitious goal, of course. But you see the wheels are set in motion already. So anyone who's looking for selling their cloud-related products, Saudi is the place to be. And of course, Sky.One is one of the partners for that. Also, I would say, as I mentioned about the financial services, they are perhaps the biggest investor in the MENA region for AI technologies. And because it's for good reason, they have been seeing results by the customer satisfaction reports. Like 70% of their banks have mentioned that they have gotten a good feedback about chatbots and virtual assistants. And any other business who's involved in the service industry is adopting this step because it's reducing their costs, increasing their efficiency. Also, for the financial services, it's helping with the risk management and fraud detection, which is, again, a prime area for the banking institutions. So much so that the Saudi Central Bank, SAMA, is helping establish fintech companies with different AI-powered products. So you can see they're not only being successful in implementing it, the customers are ready, they're giving a good feedback, and they're moving forward with it. And I will not take too much time from Cristian, but I want to mention for healthcare, it's a huge monumental shift. Saudi Arabia is a young country. Almost 70% population is under the age of 30. So these are people who need to go to hospitals. There are babies, there are kids, and healthcare is very, very important for this. And there is a 250 billion real fund dedicated towards the healthcare. And I just want to mention one quick thing, that in a smaller city of Saudi, it's called Al-Hassa, it's close to the Qatar border, they already have an AI clinic. So people go there, enter their information in a tablet, and then there's a process of handling that. So it's, as I said in the beginning, it's catching up very fast, and for the next 12 months, again, I expect a lot of exponential growth. Thank you so much.
Yes, for sure, Raza. There is a huge hype here. This new era of AI for everybody. It's touching probably every industry in the world. There's nobody's gonna be not a part of this. What I see for the probably next 12 months or next couple of years, what we're seeing here, it's like the agent AI 1.0. There's going to be a near future, probably more astonishing that we're seeing today. But for the next 12 months, I see there's going to be a huge impact on employee productivity. The use of AI agents made by vendors like ChatGPT or others that you can consume as it is, as without even programming it, it has been quite large. So this really impacts on the productivity of end users, of employees. So there is the huge advance there. So the peoples that are going to be, or the industries that are going to be more impacted by this, are the ones that have lower productivity, and probably they are the ones that probably didn't even use the technology before. So they're stepping up into technology, and they're stepping up into like having a and quite really good assistant for their employees. So though that productivity is going to be really impacted, and the next 12 months, probably the most of the market of the AI is going to be brought to the end user and the employees of everybody. After that, we manage, and the people, the companies and the industries that are that are already affected by artificial intelligence. They're going to have an improvement on process improvements are going to be made by AI, and are going to be on those industries and those companies that are already playing and already working with AI, and they're started already. So they're already making that track. They have a strategy, and they have a quite north in order to get gain of improve of for process logistics, maybe healthcare, all that auto attendant service providers. They're already into the road of agentic AI. And the business models also are going to be affected by this. We always talk about this, but which business models are going to be affected? We are still looking for that. Most of it is expected in pharmaceutical, new medicines, new improvements. The speed of getting new insights with artificial intelligence, it has been the new thing, the new fuel for all these discoveries. So I mainly see three areas of development that are gonna be quite looking at. One is the employees, to the processes, and the new business models that are gonna be made by AI.
Nice. A lot of insights here. So let's move to the next question. In your opinion, our speakers, what does it take to drive talent, culture, and adoption of AI? Raza, do you want to start it here?
Sure. So we're talking about how talent culture adopts this AI revolution. And this is not very different from any other change management or business transformation. The difference is we're talking about digital context here. And since we're talking digital transformation, two things are of prime importance. Technology, of course, and the second is people, as Cristian has mentioned as well. So it's very important that we are not just focusing on the technology part of it, because yes, you can buy the latest gadgets and the latest technology and softwares, but if the people are not part of this, it's not going to be a big success. And speaking of people, that's the biggest challenge actually being faced in the MENA region, primarily in the bigger markets like Saudi Arabia, because they're very ambitious with their targets. They're trying to play catch up with how to bring the right talent and be on track. So that's a key area again. Having the right skilled people for the meeting the digital initiatives. But I believe this can be handled with a more people-centric approach, and that is by empowering your workforce in each organization. So primarily, first of all, have a very transparent approach towards how are we going to implement the digital transformation. I would speak for myself, but I've experienced that a lot of times in certain organizations in the MENA region, when we say, "Oh, we're bringing a new software or we're bringing a new technology," some people hear it as, "Oh, certain jobs will be cut," or I'm going to lose my job. So the companies have to be very transparent about how the company will benefit it, and each individual will benefit from it. So be very transparent. Yeah. Involve the employees in the process, because again, as I said, you may have the best software and the best gadgets, but if the people are not on board with it, it's not going to go far. Third thing, which is very important, is so if people are willing and you have the right technology and gadgets, then you need to train them on this. So they would require some patience. Like the management needs some patience to make sure that the proper training is given to them, and they have some time to get their head around it and become strong at it. Uh, Also, from my performance management background, what I've experienced is that you need to plant champions in each department. So they in finance and procurement and whatever business units you have a technology champion who's sort of representing the management as a bridge between the front line guys and the management guys. Yeah. So this is, I believe, how you can drive the talent and culture in the organization. And lastly, I think there is still some hesitation from the leadership to absorb the latest technologies, and it's a double-edged sword. If you don't do it, you're doomed, and if you do it not in the right fashion, you're doomed still. So you need to have the right use cases which can act as a bridge between the overall strategy, digital strategy, and its implementation. So this will make it easier for the senior and mid management people to have a buy-in and reduce the hesitancy. So they will have more faith and confidence, and they will implement it just not to tick boxes, but with the full intention. And I think that's how that's only how you can drive the talent and adoption here.
Yeah, yes, I agree, Raza. There is no need for machine or development experts. What we need now it's human experts that can deliver and take care probably of this digital transformation, digital strategy transformation of every industry and every company. The technology is already here, so we have to use it, and we have to use it wisely. We have to use it as a trustworthy environment, secure, with data governance in it. So there are quite few things we have to take care in order to drive this culture into our organization. But I agree, there should be a leadership probably on every area of your company that will be in charge of delivering these new technologies to the people and to take care of this trustworthy environment. So because there is a lot of risk in here, because we're letting a new technology coming through to our office, to our daily basis, to take care of our clients. So there's always a risk there because everything is new. So there should be a lot of taking care of the details. I see the details as a matter of because this could be really a mess if you don't really understand what could be delivered in a few couple of months, couple of years, when you start building your strategy for agentic AIs or AI agents or AI assistants or whatever you call it. This culture probably it's going to be made as a new transformation, as a new digital transformation. A couple of years ago, there was just transformation before digital, and it's always a transformation of the business processes, the business, the people involved in the business processes. The business processes are going to be the same, but delivered through AI assistance, and it's going to be delivered faster. It's going to be delivered quicker, more perfect, but there's a lot of way this track I see. We have to adopt the people and train the people very well. The training it's a must in any transformation. And the adoption, I see the adoption has been quite a good. Everybody wants to probably not. Everyone wants to be a part of it. Nobody wants to get ahead. The talent on this, it's just the people that knows the business, the people that most knows the client's reactions are the ones that are going to train these assistants, these training, these agents. And it's more of the use of technology through the business processes of any industry. That's it's probably the turning point here. Whoever wants, whoever needs, whoever is capable of implementing and bringing your business processes into a data-driven AI strategy is the key success for this.
Nice. And one thing that touched me here is also how AI can help the companies and the partners with these drives, talent, culture, and adoption. How AI can help our customers or our our partners with the development of their talent inside their companies and the culture inside their companies also. I think that this is if you have a brief point in here, Raza or Christian, you can make it.
I didn't get Leonardo. I'm sorry, but like a final sentences here.
No, no. What I said is how AI can help the companies driving talent and culture also. We need talent and culture to implement AI, but how AI can help companies with talent and culture also in developing inside the company.
Yeah, yeah. Today there's already a lot of software vendors that are already taking care of this, and probably the main autodidacting, I don't know the name in English, but the way of you can interact with an LLM model here gives you the ability to understand and to learn very quick without even having a teacher besides you. So the self-improvement, the self-need of any individual, this is from one side, from one person, it's the probably the ignition for this. It's interest of any individual that must be in here. So I don't know if you get the idea.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah, I would like to add something here as well. I think how organizations can benefit from this is by, instead of having a generic one size fit all training or solution, they need to be more customized about it. You need to look into what are the actual problems for that organization, and rather than jumping on the latest trends or what you saw in some other organization, implement that in your organization. That's not the way forward. So you need to be very personalized, yeah. Even in terms of developing your employees' skills and and enhancing them or upskilling them, you need to do a skill assessment and a gap analysis. So as Christian has also mentioned, we sometimes get overwhelmed by these buzzwords and think, oh, suddenly everything has to be automated. We'll see robots and all of that. We're still organizations based of humans. We just need to upskill or reskill ourselves and look into how we cater to the human factor. So as I'm saying, instead of generic, look at what is exactly solving your business needs. Yeah? How can you upskill your talent by doing the skill assessment? Of course, that also means you can start with how to hire the right people for your organization. So we're talking about your recruitment and onboarding, and of course AI can do that. I know companies which are helping organizations develop an AI-based JD. So you don't need people sitting and you can put inputs and they will have JD, and then they will match. We already are victim of ATS software because no one's CV is getting shortlisted anymore. There's a software which is tracking and shortlisting you now. Also, the obvious thing is you try to automate the certain repetitive task, whether that's administrative or bookkeeping or whatever. So I think that's how you should capitalize on AI within each organization.
Nice discussion here. And let's go to the next question. And here it's more of a business question. And how does the go-to-market strategy and proof of value differ in the MENA region and LATAM region? Can we start, Raza?
Yeah, sure. So as you're saying, this is a business topic, and I'm assuming our audience is coming from all different backgrounds. So I'm not going to turn this into a business class, but I'll still put my strategy consultant hat and try to answer this. Basically, when we talk about a company's go-to market strategy. Yeah? What do we mean? We basically mean how the company can sell a new product or a service. Okay, and when we talk about the digital aspect of it, this is in most cases in Middle East, it's aligned with the government's big goals or the national goals. And as I said, the Vision 2030. So what are the targets? As I said in the beginning, 80% cloud-based, goals by next 5 years. It's a clear indication for every company to this is the way forward. So because and it's coming from the national vision, and this gives you an opportunity to be aligned with the company. The company strategy to be aligned with the national strategy. Yeah. And I guess that's the smartest move to show how their product helps achieve one of the national goals. Because at the end of the day, all the strategy is feeding into the top level. In an organization, we call it corporate strategy, like going from operational, functional, departmental to corporate. And of course, this corporate is going into the national strategy. Yeah. So I think by doing two things, the company can really help with this. Which is to get the attention of the government organization, which are the biggest clients of a lot of times. So as I said, the governments are the biggest buyers and the push behind these technologies. So if you're aligned as a company, as a seller of cloud solutions or AI solutions, if you're aligned with the countries, I'm talking about Saudi Arabia specifically here, with the National Vision 2030, you will have a lot more business here, and you will have a lot more growth. Also, this will by default make you a very key player in the country and contributing to the nation's growth. I want to mention two examples here as well. So, for example, we have in Saudi, I've grown up in this country and in the region. So the government tasks, like many other countries, used to be very slow and cumbersome. And, it's like a thick cloud. You don't know, not the technology cloud, like the old fog. So you don't know where is your document, when are you going to get your passport, etc., etc. Now we have a centralized app or website. It's called Upshare. It's a government app, and this has consolidated more than 300 government services. So this app with the fingertip you can help access, get a visa for yourself or look at what are the traffic penalties that you may have, and it's roughly used by 250,000. 25 million people in the country. The other one, which is again an amazing example, is a Najis platform, which is used for the court proceedings. And again, this we all know courts are everywhere in the world the slowest moving organization. It's something which takes years, if not more decades. And again, very successfully, they are able to put 95% of their proceedings online. So that is amazing. And as a result of that, the average length of a court proceeding has come from, let's say, on 250 days to just 3 days. 3 weeks. So you can imagine how successfully they are already implementing these digital initiatives. And anyone who wants to be a success story in a digital transformation, whether it's AI or cloud, would be safer if he's aligned with these goals.
Yeah, the go-to market here, I've seen it. It depends much on the use case. Having the right use case to deliver a quite good solution probably is the first step to overcome. The proof of value, it's always pretty much related with the maturity of the industry we're dealing with. There are high maturity where the companies already have a strategy, digital strategy, and they already have delivered solutions. In less than 3 months, you can have a solution working on, and in a 12 months period, you should be already taking care and supporting that solution. So there is a discovery time at the beginning where you start making all your improvements on your processes, on your capabilities. Most of that you can manage with pre-built solutions made already. You don't have to go and start working, developing your own agents. Probably the first step for the low maturity industries, it's getting into the use of AI. That's the first step to overcome. The go-to-market is also stepping down because of the cost of this. There's a huge gap between the what people expect in order to have an agent or developing an agent for their own purposes. And when they discover the costing of building and maintaining that, probably it's a turnaround. The all everybody wants to get into this, but there's a hidden cost that they already don't know or they have to discover in order to have a huge or a whole perspective of your budgeting needed for this. This is the first year we're seeing people making budget for AI because it's a trending. It's something that has to be on the board. It's a matter that is already taking a lot of discussion. But most of this, the go-to-market is related with the maturity of your company, of your industry. There are industries that already being disrupted by AI. So the companies that are already not into AI strategies, they are pretty far ahead from their competition. And those industries are probably that they're in the lack or in the need to immerse in the strategy of agentic AI. And here in the region, I see effectively in Brazil there is more business coming from agents. I've seen more activity running. It's a huge market in Brazil, but it's performing pretty well in the rest of the continent here in Latin America. Mexico, it's also taking, and Colombia, there are quite a high hype there and expectations. But I would say the go-to-market usually in a good project starts in 3 months, and it's a strategy that never ends. So I don't know, Raza, have you been there in a project? How is the quickest time into delivering a solution? Have you seen anything?
Well, it's as I said, the management may have some very ambitious goals, but a lot of times I've seen it will not even meet the initial target or deadline, and will trickle for the cascade down to the future areas. And again, this is probably because of lack of realistic understanding of the issue, and not having the proper governance structure in place. Because without taking names, I will tell you, I worked for a major company which was implementing SAP HANA, and which is a big project, of course, and there were millions of dollars involved in this. And it reached a point where they hired another consultant to manage the consultant who was doing SAP HANA. And of course, this is besides the internal team that we had, the cross-functional team we had from IT to strategy to whatnot. So yeah, it's I feel because there is lack of clarity a lot of times from the management or mid-management, and again, not enough buy-in from certain frontliners. There are more delays than.
I was surprised by the numbers I saw the other day in Gartner's, that 40% of the projects, their started projects, were delayed just in order to they didn't have the access or the whole complexity of the project. So first of all, if anybody's seeing here, he's expecting to have a quick started on a project, probably it's not what they're gonna get. Start slow, start probably not slow, start small with processes that are already being delayed by people, by time, by many factors that can be like a quick win. Probably search for those quick wins, those case uses that can be a quick win, in order to have a balance and a trust that this is going to work for your company or your organization. Because I've seen a lot of projects in SAP, most of that the agency stands for 6 months in order to deliver a project, and probably they're already 2 years passed by, and they're not getting into a go live. I've seen all those projects, and that gets trust and confidence, where you don't have to mess with that, because losing the trust in your organization, making a project with a huge hype and a huge expectations and not delivering it, it's a huge mess, and it's going to be really costful for the next projects.
Absolutely. It's not good for anyone. It's not good for the management, for the consultants, and the employees. And unfortunately, I've seen some top guys lose their jobs, because of this. Also, I don't know about Latin America, but here, they want everything yesterday. Like the top management, when I was being interviewed, they said, "Oh, we wanted to hire you ASAP," but I'm like, "Okay, we still have a few things to sort out, right?" Or there's a consultancy project, or there's a training project. Even in the training, they will say, "We need training ASAP," but they don't know trainings on what exactly. So you go, you sort out what trainings are needed, you do the gap analysis, and then you implement it. So same is the case here about these technological initiatives as well. However, things are changing, of course. There is a certain maturity which has already been achieved, and it's getting better. But we are still facing these challenges, which are non-IT or non-technical as such.
Yes.
And we had before going to the next question, we have a question from the audience that I think it makes sense here to put it. But what are the three more important characteristics of your region? Raza in MENA and Cristian in LATAM. What I see, the biggest difference here and the characteristic is that in the MENA region, this from what Raza said, the digital transformation is guided by the government, and here in LATAM, it's guided by the private sector. Do you understand, as I understood? And if you can point three other characteristics of your regions?
I think you mentioned the primary force there as well. The characteristics is, first of all, it's a government-driven initiative. Yeah. Second is, again, I'm assuming the characteristics is specific to Middle East, even though it's pretty much worldwide. But specific to MENA, the lack of talent, digital talent. Because they're developing talent in-house, but it's taking a while. And of course, with the ambitious space and the magnitude of projects and initiatives, it's difficult to play catch up. And it's difficult to bring talent from outside as well. And I've been working with technology companies, some big ones. And trust me, the biggest challenge on the CEO's table was how to make sure he retains the digital talent, not the competition, not the size of the market or other challenges. How to just make sure he's retaining the talent. So he often gets blackmailed, if I can use that word. And again, I think the third thing would be the somewhat hesitation from the management in the private sector, at least. The government, of course, has the top-down approach, and it's been loaded down on you, so you have no choice. But in the private sectors, they will resist it as long as they can. I'm actually eager to listen to what Cristian has to say, like specific characteristics.
What I've seen the most here in most of the cases I've been in through, first of all, is the use case. Everybody wants agents of AI, but nobody knows, but most of them, they don't know where to use it. This is the first thing. So there is a necessity of probably improving your business through AI, but you don't know how to do it yet. So there's a lot of there are people coming to us, but we start talking and all of that, but it's difficult to build a project with them. So we have to do a discovery of what are the lacks, what are the needs, and how can we help them. This is the first
If I may jump in, I'm sorry to interrupt you. And absolutely, you're so right. I mean, the AI or technology itself will not solve all these problems. Like you press a button, you need to still do the flow charts. You still need to have clarity. You need to have the RACI matrix in place and design everything. Before involving IT, because I guess the most commonly used word in IT is garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the data quality, the data governance, the data quality is the second one for me. Most of the people have huge implementation, SAP, CRM, WMS, but they are not, they are quite integrated. But when you need the whole information, the right information, you have to probably get into those three areas of information. And the data governance on this, it's really important to have one whole information that manage everything. It's a must, and it's a challenge for everybody. I see this as a second challenge, to have a data quality in order to get the answers through an AI agent, the correct answers, because given set out, as you said, it's going to be a mess and a problem for our clients and for our reputation. And the other, I would say, probably the last, and it's kind of a doubty for me. It's a cultural resistance, the cultural resistance of people that probably are gonna lose their jobs. It's commonly talked about. There are a lot of industries that are being disrupted by AI. Just AI LLMs, this 1.0, it's getting fire a lot of people. So probably this cultural resistance is gonna get bigger and bigger. I see it's like it's in the low side, but I see it as a warning, because it's a global community, it's a global economy, but it's been disrupted in every side, in every area, in every country in the same way.
I agree, and the numbers we hear are in thousands. When we hear, oh, KPMG let go of certain people, or Microsoft, they're not like 200-300, they're like 11,000 or 5,000. It's like a huge number. So while it's demoralizing to see that, because I personally have people in this region, at least 7 of my friends last year alone have been let go of, from different industries and backgrounds. Nothing to do with their performance, of course. So it's sad in that sense. But having said that, it's the reality. It's the writing on the wall. And the thing is, end of the day, that companies look at the bottom line. They need to see the profits. So, and again, it's not a very kind thing to say, but the employees are just a number for them. So it's important for all of us individually to keep an eye on what's the skill they should be going for in order to stay relevant and in order to upskill themselves. And this is something which I do in my personal capacity, and help people from different backgrounds as well.
Nice discussion here. As I said, I see clearly that the different drives here, one from the private sector that is thinking about improving their business and their process inside their companies, and the approach from Middle East, which is a top-down strategy, and it will be implemented in the next 5 years. We doesn't have this kind of driver here in Latin America. Nice discussion. So this is the last question that we're gonna go now. And I think that we already talked about them, but feel free to complement if you want. So beyond technology, what are the non-technical handbrakes that truly prevent AI adoption in practice? Raza, can you start?
I think we've mentioned a lot of these already. So at the risk of sounding repetitive, but some of the top things that come to my mind. Number one, of course, it's, as we're talking about Middle East, I'm representing MENA region here. It's a top-down approach. So the first thing, which is non-technical handbrake, is the management's hesitation. Okay, and a lot of times there are silos, and within departments they want to preserve power. Because they want stability, they want some sort of authority. The other thing, which again is a problem, is a legacy infrastructure. technologically speaking. So they have something in place which is working fine. But as I said, the management wants to increase the savings or reduce the delivery time or something, which means you need to adopt to a different way of doing things and adopt to a different model. Also, sometimes they want to do scalable business expansion, and the legacy infrastructure won't allow that. So modernizing this can be a crucial thing. And then, because I'm a strategy guy, I would have to say this: the disconnect between having a nice strategy and executing it successfully is a huge problem. And it's not just in technological projects, but any project. But you may have an ambitious goal and a very well-crafted strategy and a roadmap, but you don't have the right operational plan or tracking mechanism. It's not going to go far. Which is caused obstacles which are causing this are having a poor governance structure and not having the right talent, among many other things.
Yeah. As far as I seen here, the most typical handbrake here is the technological fragmentation, as I call it. Having those areas of data distributed in other places, and not having a whole source of data, trusted data, probably is the biggest challenge here for small companies. The integration of those systems and those data is the next challenge for that. The talent gap also usually comes out. The talent gap inside the organization, in order to keep this with these new technologies and disruptions and strategies, is going to be a must taking care, as you said, Raza. Hiring the right people in the next couple of years related with data-driven projects with AI is going to be probably a key issue for every company here.
Can I interrupt you here, Cristian? And I'm really sorry for this. So you said hiring the right people. A lot of companies or countries are facing a problem of they want to hire the right people. There are no right people because a lot of these technologies are so new. So I recently did a strategy workshop with a 3D printing company in Saudi. Yeah, it's a very new concept worldwide and in Saudi itself. So they are struggling to find the right talent, of course, and when they hire it, to retain them. Yeah. So I think over here, the companies need to make sure that they have an upskilling, reskilling mechanism in place. So they can, anyone within the organization can volunteer to learn a certain model or get a certain sort of training, and the companies have to support that, because there is a cost associated with hiring a new talent as well. I'm sorry I hijacked you.
And that's right, because probably it's going to be hard to hire that right people. And probably the most challenging part here is going to be for the boards and the managing areas of managing people, in order to keep up with the strategy of agents, AI agents. Prepare the people that work with you, train that people. Is going to be a turnaround in every company. It's going to be a new area of developing for any company, in order to keep up with the technology and the insights. The old IT department, probably, I don't know if the one is going to take care of this. Probably it's not, because it's not a technology issue anymore. It's more a business related with people, how people deliver inside the business for the profits of the company, for the profits of every person and every individual.
That's right.
And probably once for all, the handbrake, it's the turning point of a return of investment. How to calculate the return on investment on this kind of projects. Today, the costing of building project for AI project, it's delivered by probably spending a lot, and that spending and that return on investment, it's not a clarified way. And if you don't have the right tools and the right measures and KPIs to in order to get that, probably it's going to be a huge mess for them.
Thank you for mentioning the KPI thing, because that's what in a parallel universe I used to do, manage balance scorecards and KPI frameworks. And exactly this is how you look at it. I mean, the return on investment for any AI or technological project. First of all, it's not a short-term thing. It has to be a long-term vision. Secondly, there are two key areas where you can have KPIs in place and you can clearly see any value being driven. And the first one is how much money are you saving? Because a lot of times you can reduce costs, you can reduce number of days, you can increase customer satisfaction, all of which means more revenue for the company. Yeah. And the other thing is how much more business can you get? Like how much time is it giving you, free time is it giving you to your existing resources so that they can focus on developing new products, reaching out to other markets, or coming up with a whole new innovative solution. So how much time and money is it saving, and how much new business are you able to get? These are, I think, a very simple way of looking at a technological investment, and I think it's not too difficult to calculate also.
Nice. So guys, this was our last question here. I already asked the question from the audience, so I'll give you 1 minute for the final considerations, please. Raza, can you start?
Well, Sky.One is your solution provider. Contact them for anything needed. But I want to say that while we have discussed some scary scenarios, it's going to be a tough interim phase, but then we will have a lot of growth ahead. And it's very clear. We are going through a reskilling phase worldwide. But that's going to open up new areas, new way of doing business. Imagine how much power you have in your hands as an individual now. How many things you can automate, how much more productive you have become. So instead of looking at the glass half empty, let's look at the glass half full, and in our individual capacity, try to get some goodness out of it.
Yes, in this matter, you have to see the opportunity here. There is a huge opportunity for all the markets, for all the industry here. So the first attempt here is start the discussion internally. Start discussing this, put this into the table, into the board, to the stakeholders, because this is going to transform any industry. Every industry is going to be touched by this. And as soon as you get that discussion made and you get that budget into your line of budget deliver, you're going to start working with AI as soon as possible, and you're going to gain those months, that time before your competition, and it's gonna deliver or not, but you're not gonna lose that time just thinking about it. Start that discussion internally. Start that discussion with any area of your department. It has to be a strategic performance. This has to be delivered by usually it must be taken care from the stakeholders upside down.
Okay. So thank you guys for your time here, for our audience, and hope we can have another one of this discussion as soon as possible. Thank you, Raza. Thank you, Cristian.
Thank you, everybody. Leonardo,
Pleasure
Raza.
talking to you, and yes, looking forward to more discussion. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye-bye. See you.
Bye.